grasped the carpet in my fingers and started to pull myself along, floating a few inches above the sloping floor. Metal screeched again, and a long crack opened in the wall next to me. My suit changed into spacesuit mode, which told me there was now a hull breach somewhere. I had to find some air in a hurry. Suit air wasn't supposed to last you long, just enough to get you to an air supply. In a ship, these were everywhere. I was on a station. This wasn't supposed to be happening. I figured out how to move in zero gravity, pulling my way around using whatever was to hand. I bumped into things all the time, but managed to keep moving in the right direction. The station staggered with the sound of another explosion. I floated out into an open area which I recognized as the main public walkway around the docking deck. There were people floating nearby. I pushed off gently and floated up to one of them. One look told me she was dead. I used her to sling me around the direction I needed to go to find Gunbus. The ceiling behind me disintegrated. A beam crashed through and impaled one of the bodies, both bouncing away chaotically. I used a large chunk of debris to change direction again and headed out over the cargo area. Gunbus was still docked, her airlocks open. Another bad sign. The floor beneath me was suddenly gone, leaving me floating over a giant hole. Another loud screech sounded, which I could hear through my suit without needing my PC to augment the sound. Gunbus suddenly wasn't there. The whole wall moved away from the station, ship still attached to the airlock. I had no way of stopping my momentum now, and I sailed out through the hole. I used my PC to show me an image behind me. The station was breaking up. As I watched, large chunks went out in all directions. I panned around, looking for Gunbus. She was tumbling away, not under any form of control, still attached to the airlock. I wondered where everyone was. If they were on Gunbus, she would be moving to collect me. She wasn't. I sailed out into space. The view was breathtaking. The view was lethal. A pop-up warning announced I needed to be on an alternate air supply within 2 minutes. 2 minutes, what a waste. Come all this way only to die in space, a minor meteor orbiting a star called Miami. I should have let the first pirate kill me and saved myself a lot of pain. 1 minute warning. I said my last goodbyes to my family and new friends. Gunbus came into sight again, now moving toward me. They weren't going to make it. I began to find it harder to breathe. I coughed several times, my heart started beating faster, and my breathing became rapid and shallow. I was sitting in my command chair, in space. Oh, great, I thought. I'm about to die, and the last thing I see is my recurring nightmare. That's just brilliant. No ship, no life support, no nothing. Just me in my chair in space. 2 identical women stood behind me. 8 other women stood behind them. 2 men stood with them. Space around me was not familiar. As I looked around, I saw no planets. There were many asteroid fields. In the distance, 2 gas giants. A movement in front of me caught my eye. A black dot had appeared at long range. As I watched, another dot appeared, then another, then 10, 100, 1,000. Space in front of me turned black. I woke abruptly. I was in my bed. Angel, my 9-week-old kitten, was curled up by my neck. I eased myself up so as not to disturb her. I called for lights and reassured myself this was indeed my bedroom, on Gunbus. As a first, it topped my list. I'd never had my recurring nightmare prefaced by another such vivid dream before. I'd had nights where I would have different dreams, eventually ending the night with a nightmare, but never this intense. I arose and walked into the bathroom. I splashed water on my face and looked at myself in the mirror. My beard was filling out. The dark around my eyes was finally vanishing. I padded into the kitchen, pulled out a bottle of water, slurping a long drink. It was still early, so I went back to bed. Oddly, the recurring nightmare hadn't bothered me this time. In fact, it had been a relief to wake up from the one preceding it. Normally, I woke in terror. I should have. If suffocating in space wasn't enough to elicit terror, then what was? I lay there pondering the new change to the recurrent.